Boop, 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 booyaka shot. Boop, 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 booyaka shot. Boop, 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 booyaka shot. Ch 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 ch. So you're losing in your fantasy football league. What do you like? 0-3 now? You can't figure out what to do. You got injuries out the wazoo, and you're thinking to yourself, when is fantasy basketball season? Because I know I can win there. I know the waiver wire is rich with the goodness. In this episode, we will be conducting a 12-team mock draft to satisfy your fantasy sports craving. We believe every NBA fan should play fantasy basketball. So if you're watching this version of the episode, you are watching the live uncut version. I don't know if we're going to keep sharing those joints on YouTube because they really don't get much traction after we release them. And honestly, I like having this exclusive connection with my people. With that being said, the mock draft is about to jump off in about 7 minutes, but we had to keep it funky tonight, y'all. You know what your boy brought the wings tonight, man. Come on, man. You see what we got? I got this. I went to Wingstop. I got these. See these joints right here? No, not these. These right here. That's like a dry honey rub, a hot honey dry rub. Then on this one over here, in this area here, is a Korean barbecue joint, and then the one all the way over to this side right here in the back here is a mango habanero. So we going that one is super hot. So I don't know if I'm gonna actually be able to do that on camera tonight because I want to be able to like host this show, but I'm gonna start us off with this one just because I'm super excited. What up, Alexis? Let me give Alexis some screen time here. You know what I mean? We'll have this first one. This is that dry hot honey. Let's see what they talking about. That's not bad. That's a kick. That's not bad. Oh, it's actually pretty good. That's actually pretty freaking good. I'm not mad at that at all. At all. At all. So let's get our sound effects lined up. We're gonna do. Call in a wing, please. I'm gonna have one more of these before we start this mock draft. I'm gonna have one more of these joints before I do this mock draft. Try one of these Korean barbecue joints. It's a little too salty for me. That one I'm not so crazy about. It's a little salty. Yo, Enigmatical, that hot honey dry rub. I'm like, how are you dry rubbing hot honey? Like, what did you do? Did you like freeze dry the daggone bees? Like, what are you doing out here? And then Mark says, Rob rocking up the wings. You still running? That's Mark. Thanks for asking. So I have like a serious like hamstring issue that's been hampering me. So I've kind of converted to just playing basketball 2 to 3 times a week instead of running. But I'm thinking about getting back up. But I haven't been running, to be honest, Mark. I've been playing basketball instead. No, Highlight Factory said Magic City Wings. He said sweet Lou, lemon pepper Lou. Yo, that's funny. No. To answer your question, sir, these are not wings from Magic City. These are from Wingstop. Big shout out, Rick Ross. Okay, so we're 4 minutes from the draft. Oh, God. I got to lock in. But I don't know if I can. Oh, my God. That's too good. I told you I'm not playing this season. Again, if you're watching us right now, you're watching an uncut version of this episode. We will edit this down to just highlight the value, but I always like to connect with my people every week, have some wings, have a drink. You know what I mean? Just doing it Brooklyn style. That's how we do. That Korean barbecue kind of, it's a little too salty for my taste. Still good, but that hot honey dry rub is everything. Oh my god. Mm-mm-mm. Okay, let's do a quick sound effect check. What we got here? What we got here? What we got here? I ain't mad at that. You know my good one. Cover your ears. Value bomb. Let's get into this. All right, we 2 minutes away. I'm about to cook up. Got the whole squad in here. Who we got pulling up real quick? Oh, we on repeat with the bombs. My bad, guys. My apologies. I didn't know we was doing repeat with the bombs. Well, we got my man. Enigmatical says, don't need a good hamstring to fly like Mike when you got wings. I'm just saying. That was a bar. Come on now. My man Bouillon says, have you shared your thoughts on Vucevic worth drafting? I think if the value is right for Vuce, he's worth drafting for sure. Definitely, if the value is right, he's definitely worth drafting. Okay. So we are a couple minutes away from this draft room opening up. So we're going to get down with the get down, y'all. Let's do this. Let's freaking do this. And we're going to have a good one tonight. We got the community up in here. We are out here cooking. We're hot. Bacon grease. Yurt. Shish kebabs. Let's move this joint over here. Get this joint closed here. Or close as many windows as possible because I'm having some delays with some of the actual recordings lately. They're having some issues with this daggone StreamYard. I've been using Ecamm the whole time, all for like the last year or two. And I started using StreamYard recently. It's garbage. It's hot garbage, yo. But I'm gonna keep doing it because we got more hosts on the network now, and I need to make sure people can record. But I miss Ecamm, man. How I miss Ecamm. Okay, 45 seconds. We about to jump this thing off. You don't need a good hamstring to fly like Mike when you got wings. That's so good. And then we got my New York Giants playing tonight, which I'm excited about. Ooh, Alexis, that's a good one. I'm going to answer that one when we get in. I'm going to pull that one up on screen a little later on. Cool. So let's get it. We can go ahead and do this. I'm going to eat another wing when we get into the draft because I'm hungry, y'all. I'm trying to eat some more wings. My man B-Ball Dad in the building. What up, my guy? I see you. You already know. Into the draft room, into the dragon. Boom. We back. All right, cool. I'm at pick 2. You already know what it is. So here we are back in the mock draft room with our community members. If you want to mock draft with us, all you have to do is pull up to our free Discord. To join our free Discord, just visit believeinfantasy.com. You'll get a sign-up form to share your email with us, and then you would receive an automated email that would invite you into the Discord. So we have actual fantasy basketball sickos in the building with us right now. And I'm telling you, this is going to be an exciting mock draft. I'm at the 2 position for this mock draft, and we are drafting for a points league on the ESPN format. So we're really excited about seeing what kind of changes have happened over the last week since we did this, and just kind of see what news is breaking in the NBA. I know we had an injury or a surgery coming with Tyler Hero. How will that impact his draft value Here we go. First pick is up. Oh, off the board at the number one pick, we have Nikola Jokic. I'm up on the board here. I would be okay with taking SGA, Giannis, Luca, but you know where I'm going. Come on, man. I'm getting close to being a Spurs fan. I'm going with your man's in him, Victor Wembanyama at the number two pick. So I'm telling you, man, people out here overthinking this stuff. When it comes to Wimby, you know what you're gonna get. He's gonna block a ton of shots. He's gonna put up numbers on the scoring side of the ball. He's gonna rebound. Just it makes sense. At the 1-3, we got Giannis. At the 1.4, we got Luka Doncic. And at the 1.5, we got SGA, Shea Gilgeous Alexander. Now we know this 1 through 5 area is going to be the same over and over again. You might get some of the players to move around their placement in that 1 to 5, range, but it's the same names. And we haven't seen many other players creep into that 1 through 5, top 5 category. But after 5, it gets interesting. At the 1-6, we have Cade Cunningham. At the 1-7, we have Anthony Edwards. Let's keep it going with the Anthonys. At the 1-8, we have Anthony Davis. Okay. At the 1-9, we got Trae Young. Now, for me, I'm not as high on Trae Young as others, but we recently did an episode doing a reaction to Josh Lloyd's top 25 fantasy basketball players, and we covered the Yahoo points leagues as well as the ESPN points leagues, and he is super high on Trae Young. I think this is fair for Trae. I would not put him in that top 5, top 6 category though. After Trae Young at the 1-9, we have Devin Booker at the 1-10, Karl-Anthony Towns at the 1-11. I'm okay with all of these picks. At the 1-12, we got James Harden, and here we go. Oh my God, buckle up your seatbelt. At the 2-1, we got Josh, the Giddler, Giddey. Now, I personally would not draft Josh Giddey that high, but I understand many experts are high on him, and I get it. He had a great finish to the year last year. He also has a clear value to opportunity, usage, and success. But for me, until I see it, I can't believe it. I'm not going to put him in that first round, early second round category. So for me, I am out on Josh Giddey in that area. I could be wrong, but until I see him actually, perform on that level consistently for a whole season, I am out on that. Speaking of being out, let me not get out of pocket and let me line up my next pick. So many of the players that I would be interested in grabbing here are jumping off the board fast. Let me go take a look at some of these guys. Yep, they are all flying off the board fast. So I got to really kind of think about what I'm going to do in this area here. And it doesn't look pretty. It doesn't look pretty for me right now. Definitely eyeing a couple of guys. Don't want to say their names out loud because many of the people who are drafting with me are actually here in our live stream as well. So the people I was looking at, or two of the guys I was looking at, was LaMelo Ball and Evan Mobley, and they both went off the board really fast. I do think there's some value here, so I'm going to go ahead and grab one of the players that I believe will provide tons of value, especially this late in the second round from the Orlando Magic, Paolo Banchero. So I'm going to be up quick again. So I want to just go ahead and see if I can start lining up my next pick. There is a couple of guys. There are a couple of guys here that for third round, I'm thinking about making that move for them. And it looks like one of them is available. Two of them are available. I've been picking a lot of Chet Holmgren in this area in the third round, but I haven't been getting a lot of this guy. from the Houston Rockets, Alperen, the Goon, Shin Goon off the freaking board. Let's get it. All right, so let's get back to the recap now. I won't be picking for another day or two. After Josh Giddey at the 2-1, we have Domantas Sabonis at the 2-2. At the 2-3, we got Tyrese Maxey. At the 2-4, we got LeBron, father of time, James. At the 2-5, we got Steph Curry. At the 2-6, we got Jalen Williams. At the 2-7, KD. I have no problems with any of these picks for an ESPN points league. I do think Sabonis is a really good value here. I also think Maxey is. I think Giddey is a little expensive, but I'm curious to see what he does this year. After KD, we have Donovan Mitchell at the 2-8. I love that pick. At the 2-8, man, that's value. At the 2-9, Evan Mobley, love it. 2-10, LaMelo Ball. I am high on LaMelo Ball if that's the only injury-prone player that I have on my team. I'm not trying to pull up with LaMelo Ball, and then I also got, a player like Embiid. I stashed a Kyrie Irving. I'm gonna roll my dice on Kawhi Leonard. I'm gonna get AD. Like, nah, I'm not doing all of that. I get one of those dudes, I'll be fine. I think it's fair at the 210. At the 211, I think I got some value for an ESPN Points League for Paolo Banchero. I love that pick. At the 212, Jalen Brunson. I am not high on Jalen Brunson at all this season, but I do think at the back end of the second round, that is still value. At the 3-1, we got your men's in him. Scotty, Too Hottie, Bonds. At the 3-2, I grabbed Alperen, the Goon, Shingun. At the 3-3, Amen Thompson, I think that is tons of value. Let's do a value bomb. Guys, cover up your ears for this one. Man, that was good. That's some value right there. At the 3-4, Ja with the blicky on the live stream, Morant. At the 3-5, we got Pascal Siakam. Not mad at that. My apologies. At the 212 was Jalen Johnson. I said Jalen Brunson, I believe. My apologies. So at the 212 was actually Jalen Johnson. There's so many daggone Jalen's out here. I can't keep up, man. So at the 212 was Jalen Johnson. At the 3-6 is Jalen Brunson. That is wild. How the mighty have fallen. Gosh, that is crazy. At the 3-7, De'Aaron Fox, love that pick. Zubats at the 3-8, love it. Bam Adebayo at the 3-9, that is value. At the 3-10, Jaylen Brown, yes. Franz Wagner at the 3-11, come on. Nikola Vucevic at the 3-12. Somebody asked me about Vuce. Would I draft him? I'm open to drafting him. I think this area is fair. At the 4-1, however, Austin Reeves, I am out. I don't want no parts of that. No. At the 4-2, we got Zion, how the mighty have fallen, Williamson. At the 4-3, Jaren Jackson Jr. At the 4-4, Chet Holmgren. Dang. At the 4-5, Tyler Hero. So really quick, my man, who asked about it? Somebody asked about it. Yes. So Alexis here asks, what do you think about the Tyler Hero situation? We're going to come right back to that. Let me go ahead and line up my next pick. So I'm up in a little bit. So here, I can talk out loud on this one. I'd be open to Dyson Daniels. I'd be open to Derek White. I'd be open to Zach LaVine. Whoa. Kevin Porter Jr. moves up to 67 in the, what? That's crazy. What? 67? Yo, that is wild work, yo. Dyson Daniels. Derek White is off the board. Also be open to Desmond Bring the Pain, but I already got your man's in them. I'm going to go ahead and grab me some Dyson Daniels. Haven't drafted much of him at all. We're going to come back to the Tyler Hero take, but I just want to go ahead and line up my next pick. So I don't have any injury-prone players so far, right? So I got Daniels, Banchero, Wimby, maybe, Shingun. I might have to grab Embiid here. I'm out on Embiid, but for the case of this exercise, I might just have to do it. And there's some reports that he's looking okay. Man, I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna do it. Okay, so let's get back to my man Alexis's question. So Alexis wants to know, what do I think about the Tyler Hero situation? So he's having a surgery. He's gonna be out for the early part of the season. Now, when it comes to players who are injured going into the season, I don't like to have more than one, right? So we know that Darius Garland is a little banged up. We know that Joel Embiid has been a little banged up, but he looks like he is trending towards starting the season out healthy. These type of players, I do not want more than one of them. I don't want to draft two of those guys and have two IR spots filled with injured stars. So for Tyler Hero, I'm really high on him this season for the first time ever, really. And I think he's going to be able to produce on a high level. But I would be very careful around what it looks like for him if a Norman Powell steps up and has a really good start to the season while he's out. Because one thing about Eric Spoelstra, he don't really care about people's feelings. The same thing with Pat Riley. He's not out here trying to be like, hey, let's make sure you get the minutes. You got the keys to the car. They trying to win. The Miami Heat, they don't tank. They're always trying to compete for a championship, and they always find themselves in the finals when you least expect it. With that being said, I don't think the team is that good where they're going to make a deep run into the playoffs, but I do believe that Norman Powell being in Miami during this perfect storm of Tyler Hero being out could lead to some kind of impact on Tyler Hero's long-term fantasy value. It's something I'd pay attention to. So I would, when I redo my rankings, which I haven't done, I need to update them. I'm going to probably move him down a little bit, and I wouldn't be fearful to draft him when he fell into that range that I decide on. I wouldn't draft him where he currently is, though. So I wouldn't go trying to grab him in the 4th round and stuff like that. I would kind of see if I could get value for him considering that he's not healthy. That's a great question. Thank you so much. Let's get back to the recap. After, where the heck were we? Jeez Louise. I know we did. Okay, we were probably right around Tyler Hero. All right, cool. So after Jaren Jackson Jr. at the 4-3, we have Chet Holmgren at the 4-4. Tyler Hero De Niro at the 4-5. A little early for me considering the injury. At the 4-6, we got King, Cooper, Flag. And for that one, I love that pick. That is value. After King, Cooper, Flag, we got Jamal Murray at the 4-7. And then at the 4-8, we got your men's in them, DeMar, not like us, DeRozan. Got some wings. 69 gone. They not like us. They not like us. I got these joints from Wingstop. Oh my God, they're good. Oh my God, I gotta do a wing break, y'all. Oh my God. Got these joints from Wingstop. This is a dry rub honey, hot honey dry rub. Come on, ma. What? Where they do that at? Come on. Oh my God. You see me out here. I told y'all we're not playing this season. Come on. Where they do that? Come on. I'm pulling up. I got wings for you and for me. Come on, ma. I'm just saying. All right. So let me quickly recap a few more players. After DeMar, we have Denny Avdia at the 4-9, Derek White at the 4-10, Dyson, the Merchant of Theft, Daniels, a.k.a. the Bergala at the 4-11, 4-12, Desmond, Bring the Pain, Bane at the 5-1, Miles Turner, 5-2, Joel Embiid at the 5-3, Julius Randle at the 5-4, Trey Murphy the 3rd, and let me quickly line up my next pick. Okay, so let me see what we got here. We got Walker the Stalker Kessler, Jakob Poeltl. I'll be opening some Mikal Bridges here. Kristaps Porzingis. I know I got a lot of big men, but I am down for that. And do I? Well, actually, I already got Embiid. Oh my gosh, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Norman Powell is a lot more interesting, but will his value taper off as the season progresses? Probably. So for me here, definitely gonna grab Porzingis. Just like, listen, is he still there? Somebody grab him? I think somebody grabbed him. Let me. See. There he goes. I'll grab Porzingis here. I got big man nation. I got just mad big men on my squad. Come on, ma. Where they do that at? Excuse me. I'll grab Mikal here in the 7th round. Come on, like what are we doing here? Well, it's okay. Come on to the squad. All right, let's get back to this recap. Let me get a sip of this drink before I choke on these daggone wings. Goodness gracious. Lord, knock on wood, Lord. I'll be on a live stream choking on a daggone chicken wing. Not my story. It's just not my story. All right. So after Trey Murphy at the 5'4", we got Zach, watch your back, Levine at the 5'5", Jimmy, $100 cup of coffee at the 5'6", at the 5'7", Jalen Duren. I love that pick. At the 5'8", we got Michael Porter Jr., the wildest podcast run in America. At the 5'9", Kawhi, busted thigh Leonard. Now listen, guys. Listen, I'm going to say this once. I'm not going to say it again. This won't end well for Kawhi Leonard. I'm not spending 5th round draft capital on question marks. And this is not the same draft as 2-3 weeks ago. This is different. So don't is it value in the 5th round if he plays? Yeah. But he don't play. And he got a dark cloud looming over his dome piece. Be careful drafting Kawhi Leonard this year. I'm just saying. At the 5'10", we got Josh Hart, Lauri Markkanen. Oh, my apologies. Darius Garland at the 5'11", Rudy Gobert at the 5'12". At the 6'1", ooh, I like this pick. DeAndre Ayton. Let's get it. At the 6'2", Kobe White. At the 6'3", Lauri Markkanen. At the 6'4", Jalen Green. That is value. Okay. At the 6'5", Jared Allen. Come on. At the 6'6", OG Anunoby. Y'all are crushing it. And at the 6'7", we got Brandon Miller. Whoo, I might have to get Brandon Miller a nickname. Brandon the Thriller Miller. At the 5'8", we got Miles Bridges. My apologies, guys. Did I do all 5th round there? At the 6, so 6'1", Ayton, White, Markkanen, Green, Allen, Anunoby. At the 6'7", Brandon Miller. I did say 6'7" because that was that thing, that OTE thing. 6'8", Miles Bridges. Peyton Pritchard at the 6'9", Onyeka Okongwu at the 6'10". I grabbed Kristaps Porzingis at the 6'11", Jakob Poeltl at the 6'12". Jordan, leave the kids at the pool with the baddies at the 7'1". I'll take it. I'm not mad at that. I think he'll be okay in New Orleans. Then I grabbed Mikal Bridges at the 7'2", Emmanuel Quickley at the 7'3", Walker, the stalker, Kessler at the 7'4". At the 7'5", Alex Sarr. Oh, I love that pick. Mark Williams at the 7'6". Not as excited about Mark Williams this season as others. Brandon Ingram, too many question marks for me. I'm not that excited about him either. Norman Powell, I am curious to see. I'm curious to see if he can shift the narrative around his value to the team and if he can have consistent opportunity. After Norman Powell, we got 7'9", Fred VanVleet. Wow. Then at the 7'10", Kevin Porter Jr. We did a sleeper episode about Kevin Porter Jr. before when he wasn't even in the top 200. This is not value. This is not a sleeper anymore. This is like overpaying for something that we just don't know. At the 7'11", we got Shaedon Sharpe. I would be more confident in him RJ Barrett at the 7-12 for a points league. Not a bad pick. At the 8-1, Aaron Gordon. Nah. Cam Thomas, too many question marks. I don't want anything to do with that. Cameron Johnson at the 8-3, maybe. 8-5, John Collins, maybe. Anthony Simons at the 8-5, not very interested in that. At the 8-6, Andrew Wiggins. And then let me go ahead and line up a few players. So, people I'm looking at in this area, I just don't want to end up drafting Tobias Harris again. I drafted Tobias Harris recently, and I felt like crap about it. Don't want to be in that boat again. So I'm just going to queue up a few people I would be interested in having on my team just to make sure I don't end up with some nonsense on my squad. Jeez, these rookies are going up in value fast. This is crazy. Jeez Louise. Man, they got these guys high as a kite. I'll go ahead and queue some of these guys up, though. I mean, whatever. Oh, shoot. Did I just draft? What the heck? I just draft Stephon Castle. I didn't want Stephon Castle. Damn. I'll take Nimhard, though. Dang, man. I was just queuing guys up. Dang, they made me draft him. That wasn't a panic pick. I think that was a bad timing pick. So while I was queuing up the players down the list, I just drafted Steph Castle, which he's the rookie of the year. Like, I mean, it's okay. It's not the worst pick, but that's not what I wanted to do. But it wasn't Tobias Harris. So I'm glad that it wasn't. So let's go to the chat, see what my people are saying. Highlight Factory is laughing at me. Haha, thank you, my guy. 6'7", KPJ. Highlight Factory says, with Hero going down, I feel this is the time for Bam to step forward. I like that. I think Norman Powell will also take advantage. Ray Worker says, definitely don't say them out loud. Yo, y'all, you guys are wild, yo. He said, definitely don't say them out loud because these guys are snipers. Will Embiid be top 10 per game? I don't know. I think last year he only played a handful of games and he wasn't top 10. So I don't know. I need to see. Josh Giddey already up the board. That was wild. It's going down. And big shout out to my man Josh Lloyd. Josh Lloyd gave us his blessing and approval to do the reaction videos, but it just shows how powerful his voice is, you know, and his influence on this community and this space and this game. Because a lot of people online are not sure about that, but it's something that's, for me as an analyst, I have to pay attention to my current, you know, position for Josh Giddey in points leagues. And I'm even moving him up a little bit, but I'm just not going that far. I'm not going up to, you know, first round, second round value. Basketball Dad says, good to see you, Rob. Let's go. You already know, my guy. Enigmatical says, Mark Stein reporting that AD is doing 5-on-5 workouts going into training camp. I love that news. Thank you so much, my guy. All right, so let's get back to the recap. After the laughter comes tears. Where were we? We were right here in the mix. We did Wiggins. Wiggins was our last one. So at the 8-6, we got Andrew Wiggins, Asar Thompson at the 6-7, at the 8-7. At the 8-8, we got Isaiah Hartenstein. Love that pick. My people are going off the board. At the 8-9, Paul George, stay away. At the 8-10, Matas Buzelis. Good. I wanted him on my team. I couldn't get him anyway because I grabbed Castle right after that. At the 8-11, Stephon Castle. At 8-10 was Matas Buzelis, if you couldn't hear in all of my anger and frustration that I just let out there. Tobias Harris at the 8-12. Glad I didn't get him. At the 9-1, Dan Gafford. Nimhard at the 9-2. Khalil Ware at the 9-3. Bradley Beal. I had a nickname for Bradley Beal, but I don't want no smoke with him. I don't want him like pulling up to my crib like, yo man, why you call me Bradley Happy Meal Bill? Like I don't know if that's appropriate. At the 9-5, we got Donovan Clingan, Christian Brown at the 9-6, Claxton, Mathurin, Irving at the 9-9. Let's go. I ain't mad at that. Well, maybe a little bit. I'd have probably waited a round or two later. CJ McCollum at the 9-10. Let me go ahead and lock in and queue up a few more players. So Igor, no. Scoot, no. This is not fun being in this area, man. It's not fun being in this area, but we gotta do what we gotta do. Come on home, Ace. Let's get it. Ace is from this area, man, where I'm at. Like he's from out here. People love Ace Bailey down here. I want like a safer pick. Let me grab Bobby. I haven't grabbed any Bobby Portis. I think Bobby's gonna be okay. Let's just get a little more stability there. As long as he's not, getting in trouble for, using substances and stuff like that. I don't know what happened last year. I know he got suspended a bunch. Like, I don't know if that will happen, but he's a stable play, especially considering the new look Bucks. He could have a pretty good season. Okay, so let's get back to the recap. After CJ McCollum at the 9-10, we got 9-11, D'Angelo Russell, Isaiah Collier at the 9-12, Kyle Filipowski at the 10-1. I freaking love that pick. Okay. At the 10-2, Toumani Camara. I love that pick too. Jaden Ivey at the 10-3. Love it. At the 10-4, as much as I like this guy, Devin Vassell, I really like Devin Vassell. This is not for me. Cynthia Aldama at the 10-5. Again, like him, not for me. TJ McConnell, maybe. DeJounte Murray, I think at that point of the draft, it's fine. Keontae George, maybe. Zach Edey, maybe. Cam Whitmore, maybe. Ace Bailey, maybe. Scotty Too Hottie, well, Scottie Pippen Jr., I don't know. Jaden McDaniels, maybe. Bobby Portis Jr., I think he's going to have a good season. So I like that pick. Adem Bona, I don't know. Maybe. Depends what happens with your man, Joel Embiid. Brandon Podziemski, I thought people would be higher on him than this. And I think that he will perform well. Obi Toppin, not sure. Igor Demon, perhaps. Jalen Suggs. I like Jalen Suggs, but I think a healthy Orlando Magic team and also having your man Desmond Bane come to town, I'm not sure if he's going to be able to have enough value. But I think in that part of the draft, 11th round, it works because you're not spending a lot. Tari Eason at the 11-8, Jonathan Kuminga at the 11-9, Jared McCain at the 11-10, Zachary Ricochet at the 11-11, Jay Huff at the 11-12. I love that pick. At the 12-1, Kelly Oubre Jr. I do not like that pick at all. I think he's going to be on the waiver wire. I'd rather grab a rookie there. Like, don't do that. Nemias Quetta at the 12-2. VJ Edgecombe at the 12-3. Dante DiVincenzo at the 12-4. Scoot the Boot Henderson at the 12-5. Dylan Harper falls to the 12-6. Not mad at that at all. Let me go ahead and see if I can queue up a few of these players. So, Drew Holiday, I'll be okay with having him. Oh, is that possible? Where did he just fly off the board or something? What the heck? Man, this is wild. This you scroll on ESPN while you're doing recording a show. These people will just bounce off. I don't got Kyle Kuzma there, do I? You better get him, his long-legged self out of here. I don't want no parts of that, my guy. I am out. Herb Jones, I like. Uh-oh. I'm about to accidentally grab somebody. Bub Carrington, Herb Jones. Let me get Yang Hansen. Let me see if he's around. If Yang is here, I'm just gonna grab him. I might not be able to get another. No, he's gone. I got too many big men. Shish kebabs. I'll grab Bub. I got too many big men. I can't get him. Can't get him. Can't get him. Can't get him. So with this last pick, let me see if I can do some Herb Jones. I'll do some Herb Jones. Cool. Get back to this recap. Let's do the I was up to Scoot, the Dylan, DeAndre. All right, at the 12-7, we got DeAndre Hunter, 12-8, Nas Reed. That's value. I love that. Drew Holiday at the 12-9. I can do that too. Jalen Wells, maybe. Bub Carrington, Draymond Green, Dennis Schroeder, Herb Jones. And then at the 13-3, top is off, boobies is out, hair blowing in the proverbial wind. Yang Hansen at the 13-3. At the 13-4, Aaron Nesmith. At the 13-5, Keegan Murray. And then at the 13-6, we got Derek Lively Jr. At the 13-7, Ayo Dosumnu. And then at the 13-8, we have Yemenzenem Bilal Coulibaly. Now, Bilal Coulibaly is banged up, so you want to be really mindful of that when drafting him. But I think if he's going to be a draft and stash situation, grabbing him in the 13th round, it don't hurt. It don't hurt. In the at the 13-9, we got Lonzo Ball. At the 13-10, Malik Monk. 13-11, Bruce Brown. And then at the 13-12, we got Yemenzenem from a team I don't know quite yet because he hasn't picked, Quentin Grimes. Now, it is tradition here that I give an honest review of my team. We're going to break it down. I'm going to tell you yes, no, or maybe on the player. Yes, meaning love the pick. No, meaning this was a mistake. Maybe being I'm not sure, but I'm okay with it. And then I give a 1 to 5 GOAT rating. So 1 GOAT is bad. 5 GOATs is bad. I don't know what that means. Let's do it anyway. Okay, at the 1, we got Victor Wembanyama. Yes. Paolo Banchero. Yes. Alperen the Goon. Şengün. Yes. Dyson, the Merchant of Theft. Daniels, a.k.a. the Burglar. Yes. Joel Embiid. Maybe. Kristaps Porzingis. Yes. Mikal Bridges. Yes. Stephon Castle. Might have been a little too early. Heck to the no. At that part of the draft, I don't know if I should have grabbed him. That was an accident. Andrew Nembhard. Maybe. Ace Bailey, maybe. Bobby Portis, yes. At this point in the draft, I know he'll put on for the city. Bub Carrington, maybe. And then Herb Jones. At the last pick of the draft, I know he's going to put up decent fantasy numbers. I give him a yes. Overall, I think this is a very strong draft for my team for our ESPN Points League. If we're thinking standard scoring there, Stephon Castle, I feel like that was just a mistake, and that hurt me. And I think other than that, it's kind of spot on my brand of drafting. If Joel is healthy, obviously this could be a league-winning type of situation. But if he's not, I could be crippled for the entire season. So for that reason, I'm going to give myself a 3 out of 5 GOAT rating. Now that you know who to draft at the second pick, check out our playlist so you can know where to pick players from every draft position. Now that you know who to pick, now that you know how to draft from the second position, check out our playlist of all of our Mac. Now that you know who now that you know the Now that you know how to draft from the second position, check out our mock draft playlist so you can be prepared for every scenario. Cut! And there we go, there we go, there we go. The wings is on deck with your bro, with your bro. You already know, you know. We'll answer a few questions and get out of here. Alexa says, I believe Scoot Henderson late pick choice this season. Not mad at that. B-Ball Dad, how do you feel about Brandon Miller for this upcoming season? I really like him. Drafting him in mock drafts, definitely open to drafting him at his current value. I saw that. He says DeJounte Murray posted a clip of him dunking. I saw that too. I also saw the video of Kyrie. Come on, man. I'm just not trying to be bringing no injured dudes on my squad. Stefan says, this is two questions. So he says, do you think Sabonis and Booker would be a good pairing for my first two picks in 12-team Yahoo categories? I'd be okay with that. Why not? You and Josh Lloyd need to do a show together. We did 2 episodes together. There's a playlist on my channel with my guest appearances. You can find both of them there. But I did 2 shows with Josh. We're like averaging a show every 2 years together. I love doing shows with Josh. It's always fun. What second-year center you like the most to level up? Clingan, Ware, Sarr? This is a good question. That's an episode, Brian. I don't like Clingan as much. I think people are high on Clingan. I get it. DeAndre Ayton is out of town. But with this, we don't know what to expect from this Yang Hansen kid. Yang Hansen might be the next coming of the Joker. So we got to be careful. Ware I like a lot. It'll probably be between Ware and Sarr. And if I had to pick one, I'd probably pick Sarr. Just because Ware, Bam Adebayo was there. And I know he might not impact his value that much. I think for Sarr's responsibilities might be a little more enhanced. So I'll go there. I think we're all caught up. Cool. All right, cool. So I'm going to wrap it up, guys. Don't forget, play the waivers, set your lineups, and believe in fantasy. Peace. Finish up with these wings. We're going to do some music tonight. You a fan, you a fan, you a fan.